Hi, I'm Carlisle Grant, and this is Behind the Title What the Resume Doesn't Reveal. This podcast is where we sit down with Caribbean leaders, creatives, and quiet giants to hear the real story, not just the highlight reel. No fluff, no filters, just truth, legacy, and lessons from those who've walked the path. Before the brand, the events, the corporate jobs, and destination shoots, there was a high schooler with a borrowed camera and big dreams. Then came the setbacks, a robbery that could have broken him, but instead, he built something greater. This is the rise of Dacx Foster. But this conversation isn't about the role, it's about the road. Let the journey begin. So, I don't think we're going to introduce your actual name yet, but Dax, respect for.
Big up, bro. I can't tell him real name, you know.
Ah.
I joke, good.
Alright, so I don't even think people even know your real name. I feel like the Dax brand has been around from Wapikil Philip from, I would want to say probably before 2011, thereabout. Probably high school days.
Let's say 2009, 2008, 2009 to be exact.
So how you even got that name?
Alright. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's really just my initials for my actual name, but I replaced the F with an X called Dac. That's not cutting it. That does not sound right. Yeah. So it's really just that. I just got up and I was like, just put an X on it. Cause X makes everything
and I think
cool.
At the time X was a cool thing to
even though it's still cool. X's make everything cool.
Yeah, right. Alright, so your real name is Darrick Foster, right?
Yeah.
And then you created this brand called Dacx, right? Because that's what it is. It was a brand.
Right.
Who were you before you became Dacx, the creative? Before the clients, before the parties, before the events, the weddings, before the cameras. Who was Darrick?
Darrick was just a typical nerd.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried my best to excel in high school. I would say that in prep school, I was, the nerd of the class.
Okay.
Obsessed with trying to get the best grades. I met my match in high school, and yeah, it got a bit rough trying to maintain always being on top, academically at least. And then I guess I would say from there, I kind of segued into exploring myself even more because I couldn't keep up with a particular person in my class. That man was brilliant. He was so good. He even came top in the Caribbean for a lot of the stuff in CXC time. So I found that during third to fourth form, I was kind of lost in that regard. But then, I was lucky enough to, my mom had a camera lying around.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom was in communications, so she ran her businesses for years and she was in communications and she had a camera just chilling. A good camera. It was a Canon Rebel XS. A good camera at the time, but at the time that also was a basic level entry DSLR.
Right.
I was lucky enough to, as I said, being a nerd that I was always interested in computers. I was very much into the IT stuff, graphic design. Luckily, almost every summer, I kind of did different courses in summer schools, I would say. And a lot of the summer schools would have exposed me to stuff like Photoshop and those little programs from that early age. So like from 13 straight, 13, 14, I was just exposed to them, and the time I picked up that camera, and that was from fourth form to fifth form. It was one summer I just picked up the camera and just started playing with it, and literally that was it. So I started taking pictures of grass, pictures of flowers, the textures on the trees, the simple things. And I had the exposure to the software. Yeah. So I'd take these photos, these regular basic photos, bring them in the Photoshop, and do all kind of things and just have fun with it, you know. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going on too
No
far.
man,
Yeah.
no man. You're telling us who you were before all
Right.
this.
So yeah, I really was just another a normal
Yeah.
regular guy. You know,
Stumbled on a camera.
just
and...
picked up the camera literally. I mean, oddly enough though, I after going through some photos sometime last year,
Right.
I didn't realize that growing up, I have so many photos of me holding a camera.
Whoa.
So, you know, and that makes sense because my mom was a lover of photography. So, you know, I have so many pictures of me holding some form of digital camera.
Right.
Sorry, not digital camera, film cameras. You know, the little Kodak cameras back then. The video cameras, the current handy cams that people using to give that old effect. For some reason, I was always exposed to it, but I didn't realize that I had a love for it until I personally picked up that DSLR that summer, and that was the creation of Dacx, the shooter at that time. Right.
Wow. Wow. So it's almost like it was destined.
You can call it that. I never planned it. Technically, if I was to follow my career guidance, I would be, and I still can be. I'd be behind a computer code.
Yeah, because you have a degree in.
I have a degree in right. Yeah. So I graduated from UE. It was rough. You know, I spent a couple of years extra. You know, and that's also as a consequence of focusing on Dacx as well. You know, it really worked out in my favor as well. I got to get a couple extra years of networking, you know, so yeah.
Okay, all right. So, all right then, so what's one part of his story that people often overlook or they underestimate?
I wouldn't say that there's anything that's necessarily overlooked or underestimated. The most I know people say is that, yo, Dacx, the brand is so large, but you as a person, you're so somewhat unknown, or there's this mysterious demeanor to you, or you know, people don't really know the face behind the brand, because Dacx is a brand. Dacx now stands for Design and Cinematography Experts.
Wow.
Right. So Dacx actually, the acronym has meaning now.
And you didn't even know that at the time.
I didn't know that at the time. You know, it popped out of nothing, literally. Not to mention that the creation of Dacx itself started off Dacx Photography, Darrick Designs, right? Because it was me and my brother Brian that decided to put our skills together. He was so at the time I would say that when we started the business, not officially, but when we started the business, it was in high school. We really officially made it something in sixth form, where we combined our skills. At the time, social media, you know, it wasn't what it was today. It was Facebook. You know, even High Five and them things. But it was really.
I was going to your Facebook recently, and I saw some old stuff.
Listen,
so people ever saw this.
The Facebook. So big up Facebook still, because I mean we've all kind of moved away from that platform, but there's such a significant portion of time of things that have been shot. Embedded in history for the rest of our lives, that a whole generation of us can appreciate. You get me? Like there's so many images of us within the last 10 to 15 years on that Facebook page that literally freezes and records that moment of history of all of us in our youth. You get me? So those albums will never go away, you know, because the reality is that 10, 20, 15, almost years from now, if you guys remember, you guys can go back on that and you get me? Like you relive those memories.
And I saw a photo of you and all your friends, and when I look at them, I see that each of them is the picture that I saw, they're all in the creative space.
Yeah, man.
Corey,
Yeah.
animation, you, Brian, and a couple other people, they're all in some creative thing. I was like, wow, look at that. And at that time, you guys never ever
We were just hungry. We were just hungry. We were just going at it. It was purely passion.
Yeah.
It's purely fueled by the divine drive to create, and not only the satisfaction you get from creating, but it's almost addictive, especially at that time when you have the drive, when you have the mental energy, the emotional connection to what you're creating, and relentless fire to create. It's beautiful. It's I wish I had it right. No, I won't lie. The drive it's different now.
Right.
Like things have slightly, I would say, developed. I don't want to say change, but things have developed in a different way. But that passion, that drive, that energy, that
youthful exuberance,
and just getting up, growing, and say, "Yo, I'm going to kick ass today. I'm gonna make something." You know, it gives you a hit of dopamine that you know, it's almost like a drug.
True.
You know, so luckily I've connected with a lot of people in the spaces from then when we didn't really know what direction we were going in. We were just doing it because we love this and we saw that there's gonna be a future in it. And I see, like I said, if I was to just follow the traditional way, I would have never taken Dacx as far as I had, strictly because of the belief. Because when I started, especially at my youthful age, a lot of nobody thought that you could build a career out of this.
True.
Right? Nobody thought you could actually build something that makes sense, that you could actually live off of. You know, media. You know, much less photography or graphic design. And like nobody at the time knew how much of a digital boom we would have had, especially in the last decade. But guess what? I looked up in the mirror one day and I saw it. I saw the trends. I knew what was going to happen. I literally got up just one day, you know. It was so random because it was sixth form too. You know, you're going through some changes. I get your beard and all them like a thing there. And I just remember getting up one day and I just saw a vision of myself, of my future self. Literally. It happens to me occasionally. It's a very weird thing, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but there is this thing that deep down in me, it could be my ego, I don't know what it is, but to safely say it, that I got up one day, looked in the mirror, and I saw future Dacx, and I took every step
to get to that
point right now.
That's beautiful, bro. All right. So was there a moment then, maybe behind the lens, where you realized that, you know, people were starting to see you as like this subject of inspiration? Like, is there like this point where you're like, oh, people actually looking up to me? Like, I've been doing this for a while, and I see that people are actually, you know?
Well, no. All right, that's a very interesting question. So, when I started, the guys who were doing, you know, photography at the time, you know, they're much bigger. They're much older than me at the time. The ones who were doing it at a level that I was like, yo,
aspire to.
Yeah, it's kind of inspiring. You get me? I can say, like, especially at the time, guys like Dwayne Watkins, Courtney Chen, those guys were they are goats. You get me? It's great. They've done that work. They put in the efforts to be, you know, somebody to look, so people's work to be inspired by and to aspire to. But I had my flavor at the time. I had my ways of doing things, and I also had very basic equipment at the time. And making the most out of the little that I had, right? So over the years, because as I said, it's 16 years now. Over the years, I did notice that there was also a heavy barrier to entry in this thing. So when I say barrier to entry, I mean that if a lot of people, so to enter it wasn't hard. You needed a little money so you could buy equipment and thing, right? But you know, I'd almost want to say that the industry was somewhat gatekept, right? And if you didn't know who were the top people in it, you barely stood a chance. I think at the time that I picked up my camera and started pushing the way that I did was divine timing, because many people tried. Many people tried the same vibe and it just didn't work out. It was not feasible for them. However, you know, I can count on so many experiences and so many times I just did things out of passion alone and didn't even worry about the money. And learned so many lessons over the time. And you know, just totally didn't think about the fiscal part of it, because I had a vision and I had to do everything to let the vision connect with the mission. Right? So to kind of summarize that entire thing, I just kept on going hard. I just kept on going hard. I just kept on going hard, kept on going out, kept on going to the right places, the right spaces, doing all of the parties, doing all of the events.
You sponsored a lot of events.
Sponsored a ton load of events. I did a lot of stuff for my school. I went to Arden. At Arden High School, we literally sixth form did the sixth form graduating programs where we take images of the entire school base, put them all in a program, did the physical program, did the stuff for the screens itself. All of these stuff were just in hindsight just practice for what was going to happen in the real world. You know, so it was just constantly going out, constantly taking advantage of social media at the time, like literally spamming it. Like the way how the algorithms worked back then, you could spam. It was just easy marketing. And then I had a huge competitive advantage, and I said it probably drew down to how I saw things and how I knew how I wanted the space to be. But I would go to an event or a party at the time, because really when we were growing up, you know, it was really party time. You know, there are a lot of events happening often, like almost every day, especially during summer. Where I'd go to an event and literally shoot it, and sometimes even before the event done, the entire album is up on Facebook. People would leave the events and cannot wait to go home for the next day to get those images so that they could post it. Nobody never used to do it like that. I mean, now everything is live now. You get me? And not to mention the quality at the time, because, you know, back then, you know, the phones were nowhere as good as they are. And like everybody appreciated that these isn't me getting shot at. You can imagine, like, you have an opportunity to get a nice picture almost every week. You know, the clubs. So it's just, at the end of the day, grand scheme of things, it's just a lot of years of putting in the work and networking. I'd say events are ways of hyper networking. So I hyper networked often without even noticing. And over time, people just realized that we were a proper staple in the industry, that we're the real deal. And to get back to the gatekeeping thing, one thing I promised myself is that anybody who shows some form of interest or passion in this thing, that I would take them on and try to hone them, give them opportunities, to the point we even started running internship competitions. You get me? Like, we made photography, media at the time, we made it a viable option. You get me? And not to mention how teaming that with the boom of social media and constantly putting in that work and effort, like it just happened.
Just work.
It really just worked, and at the end of the day, just consistency.
Yeah.
Everything consistency. Put in the time, can be consistent, and you'll be great at it at some point.
Facts.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Kingston. What elements of that environment kind of sharpened your creative eye or your business instincts?
I mean, sharpening my creative eye. I mean, you're a product of your environment, no matter what. I was lucky to be in the space of Kingston, and lucky to be, in the area that the areas that I grew up. I was very near to everything, and I also happened to just plug myself into all of the spaces that I needed to be in, and I didn't even plug myself. More while it just happened. You get me? So being in the Kingston network, you get a hyper network, because especially back then when people used to go out and actually be social, and little me walking around with my camera, hey, you want to take a picture? Take the picture, show them the picture. Up to now, I still get it. Wow, these look so great. How do I get them? Boom. And what happened is I focused on, so Dacx was very much a youth-based focused brand at the time, right? But because I'll take these nice pictures of the youths, them eventually the parents would see like, hey, this is such a nice picture. XYZ, who took it? And then that trickled from the parents to maybe a couple teachers. I started working at doing stuff for other schools. So every picture I took was a lead to another customer or client, and the age and the demographics just boomed and changed over time.
And as you grew, it grew.
As I grew,
because now you do a lot of corporate stuff.
Right. So right now, Dacx is a lifestyle brand.
Wow.
You get me? It encompasses from newborn, from before you even come out. Let's talk about maternities. We have weddings. We're heavily corporate. We're heavily lifestyle. We are connected with emotions, and we're connected with emotional times.
Yeah.
We're connected with highlight periods of life. Birthdays, your events, funerals. You get me? Like we are connected to the things that matter, and because of that, it makes the job so easy. It makes life so easy for us, because we are capturing moments in life for the most part that matter to the persons that hire us.
Nice. Okay. All right then. So we touched on a lot of the successful parts of Dacx, right? Were there moments where failure in the journey forced you to evolve creatively?
Absolutely.
One particular incident come to mind. I remember a while back. You can touch on that and any other thing. I remember a while back you had lost all the equipment.
Got robbed.
You got robbed.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Failing is one of my favorite things to do. And it took time and maturity to understand that the faster you fail is the faster you grow. The faster you fail is the faster you learn. And you should never be scared of any failures, or scared of, any mistakes, especially you're being intentional about learning from it. So in that regard, I've had multiple hardships in my journey. Like a lot. I can start from the simple basic things, like it happens to everybody in the game. You drop your lens, it mash up. You see me? Some little thing that some little form of loss. So I've been robbed a few times.
Oh.
A few times, right? The first time that did really mash up my meds, but I was lucky enough for it not to be my main camera. It was one day we were covering an event by Jamaica Conference Center, and we had a booth set up, right? And we had our camera bag and the booth set up and everything. It was me and some other people, maybe another shoot, I don't remember. And I literally got up for a moment to probably check on something, and he had turned his back and within that minute or so, that bag just got up and walked along, and it's 2 feet and disappeared. Right?
Wow.
So we lost a Nikon D700 at the time. Luckily, it wasn't my main camera, but it was my first piece of experience in loss. Nothing came out of it. We did our reports at the time, and unfortunately, the security cameras at that section of where we were wasn't working. So yeah, lost that one. But the major one that completely changed the arc and completely changed my life was 2017. Yeah. I was doing a shoot with the now superstar Davina Bennett. She was a runner-up for Miss Universe, right? So she was Jamaica's Miss Universe, and she was a runner-up for the big competition. However, before she became the star, we literally had a shoot to do. It was for her birthday. And we went to, I don't know if you guys know, there's this quarry that's near, when you're entering into Jamaica, there's this nice quarry. It's closer to St. Thomas side. We saw lots of images there. It's white and beautiful, and anything would be of great contrast on that backdrop, right? So we went there. The shoot was nice. It was quite successful. And literally when we were about to leave...
Hey, if you're enjoying this episode, be sure to like, comment, share, or leave a review. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the wisdom or documenting one story at a time. Now back to the discussion.
2 gunmen literally waited for us to finish packing, and practically when we were about to leave, 2 gunmen took the opportunity to come on us. Guns out and a chopper out, and took everything except for the car.
So
and at the time,
everything gone.
So everything was taken. My camera, my lens, my and at the time, I think I had a Canon 70D. It wasn't a full frame yet, but you don't know, it was a top camera them time. The Canon 70D, 70-200, a bunch of different other lenses. It was about close to $5,000 worth of equipment at the time. And luckily enough, they had us all on the ground. Davina, she wasn't even fully clothed yet. It was me and 3 other people, Davina and her stylist and another person who was a driver, right? And they had us all on the ground, literally faces to the ground, had the gun in my head back with each of them. When I said the way that I call him what would I call him? So the person who was doing most of the talking during the robbery, his words alone would kill you. I thought it was over. When that gun was in my head back, I saw my life flashing before my eyes. I was like, yeah, man, it's been a great run. We're about to get doped out here, isn't me? He went and he went in all of our pockets, took away everything. Took out the bags out of the trunk of the car. Luckily enough, they took the keys for the car, but then they just threw it somewhere, so we had the car. And I was the only lucky one that when they were searching through our pockets, that he wasn't able to find my phone. It was weird. That a phone and the chain that I'm wearing right now. For some reason, I was the only one. Everybody else, everything get taken. Them phone get taken. Them jewelry, them watch, everything. So I was the lucky one to have the phone, to be able to make the phone calls. And even so, that in itself was a horrible experience. We didn't get any So the police, I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but the police them never do them job at all.
Yeah.
You know, we went to multiple police stations. By the time we actually started getting through with something, it was probably 1.5 hours to 2 hours later. At that point in time, they could have been in Falmouth with our stuff.
Yeah.
You see me? So, yeah, I lost it all in one go at that moment, and that was mentally destructive, emotionally destructive. I was so worried for Davina because, you know, I didn't want them to take her away or, you know, do anything worse than what already was happening. I lost it all. And, you know, big up to everybody who was there to support me at the time, and not to mention. So, like, you know, like when it happened, like you're shook, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You're young in the game. You're making money, but you didn't really make it yet, because every money that you get, you're putting it towards you're investing back in your business. I was lucky enough to have another camera to borrow. It was a T3i. We couldn't compare that to what I was using. It was a basic 50mm lens, but you know, I borrowed that. I did a GoFundMe, and I let the world know my story. And boy, as I said, it was an arc, because the feedback, the support, the response, and not to mention the donations. Guys, I literally was able to buy back everything. Not only just buy back everything, but
and then some.
And then some, isn't me? Like from that whole situation, I was able to buy my first full frame camera at the time, the GOAT 5D Mark IV, Canon 5D Mark IV, still one of my favorite cameras to date. I was able to buy a drone. I was able to reinvest in my lenses. I was able to reinvest in myself. All of the money that was lost came back plus tax. Because of all of the love that people had, all of the donations, everything. And even so, I was brought down to the most basic camera, and I made that camera work, because at the end of the day, you know, it's not the camera, you know, it's never the camera. So if you stop, tell man when them shoot, you know, say, oh, your camera nice. Yeah, we know the camera nice, but you need a good operator to build it the right way. And what I was forced to produce out of that basic camera, it was amazing. You know? So I got robbed, I think it was February or March. By summertime, I was back up and even better. That reignited the entire new energy into the thing. And Dacx, as I said, the arc, it just went up from there. And the stays going up.
So you went through hardship. The brand that you were building all these years, you finally saw that, oh wow, people actually like the work, actually love the brand.
You didn't know how much
big.
I didn't know how much love the brand had. I didn't know how much support people were reaching out of everywhere, man. It was ridiculous. And then now, here's the funny thing. So, $5,000 worth of equipment, right? So I'd put out what was lost and such, put it out on social media just in case it popped up out anywhere. Would you imagine that, you know, maybe 3 to 4 weeks later, a virgin of mine who was a big manager at a pawn shop called me and said, yo, Dacx, I see you post these things online. A man just circled you not too long ago, and looks like everything that you've listed is what he sold to me. So whichever man come rob me, or whichever group of man them come and rob me and do them thing, sold $5,000 worth of equipment for 30 grand.
Whoa, what?
Okay. Man them sell $5,000 worth of equipment for Hennessy money for the weekend.
Crazy. That is crazy.
So I was lucky enough to recover the 70D. Get back the lens.
Everything.
I got back everything except for the memory card with the photos.
Right. So
everything except for the memory, and that was a month later.
Yeah.
Right? This is after going through all of the stress, no leads from the police, to the point where the police situation was so bad because when it happened, I didn't even want to tell my parents, but you don't know that or something bad.
Yeah.
I had to call my dad. I didn't tell my mother till the day after. It was my dad who was with us at the different police stations, and I didn't want to have to call up on connections to get a serious feedback from the police. But it got to that point where I had to call my dad, and my dad had to make him connection them to the point where I had a meeting with the superintendent of police at the time, or one of the major, I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Right? Because I had to make my complaints. One, Harborview Police Station was not on Google Maps. So imagine scrambling to try to get help and you can't even find the police station. Because you go to the first police station, you're not in the right location, meaning that if you're not if you're not within a certain area, them not the business. Oh, that's not our responsibility. We're not responsible for that area. Yeah. So imagine terrible things happening. So you go to a police station and them not even a fault for you, right? So, eventually we found the place. I put the Harborview Police Station on the map, and spoke to whoever I need to speak to know good anything. End up have to call upon links, end up in a meeting with the superintendent, end up with them apologizing to me for how they dealt with us. And I use that opportunity because the big deal out of this robbery and how I was even able to market it as an experience, because I had to find a way to creatively output what happened to me. So what I did was an entire reenactment of what happened. And this time with an entire team of blue suit, badman, top policeman them, we went back to the same place, fully secured, did the shoot of it, and I created my first mini movie of what occurred. And that's what everybody saw. And that's what everybody saw, and they were able to, resonate, see what happened, and click the link and help out. And it was really just an experience. And guys, the end of the day is, and this goes to all creatives or anybody that's in this game or space, do as much as you can, try to do a recce of the area, meaning try to, if you can, go and do a site check. Scout it out. Know the elements, know the environment, know the people around the place. Don't ever go into a place or area that you don't know without some form of security. And extremely important thing is to know the people on the ground. The people on the ground, those are the people that matter. Those are the actual security. Those are the people, because Jamaica run kind of different still. Don't ever take those things for granted. You see me? And then I got my lesson, and that lesson became a blessing. And it became a blessing for Davina as well. She was inspired that year to go and join and enter Miss Universe, and she made it a magical thing. She's a superstar now. It was a blessing for everybody. And it was a blessing for everybody. That was divine intervention. I knew that, God want me upon the planet. You see me? Like, fully. There is nothing that can convince me otherwise that I am supposed to be here, supposed to tell this story. And because of how I've been blessed, I just want to bless everybody that's around me.
And I definitely see that, bro. You've always been a supporter of, we both collaborate over the years, we support each other. If I ever call on you for anything, no questions asked.
Bro, I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna be the gatekeeper.
Truly appreciate.
A godfather them call me for a reason, isn't it?
Alright, cool. So we could consider you as a visual storyteller, alright? How do you deal with moments where you probably feel creatively dry, or boy, you put out a piece of work and it never get the reception that you thought it would get? Like, how you deal with that?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. Maybe it's more of a case where I don't really care.
Okay.
And it's more of a case that also I'm so particular with what I create that it for some reason is almost always a hit, you know.
Yeah.
And even when it's not a hit, I actually, if I believe it's impactful or I believe it's of standard or quality, then it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
You know, because the reality is that I only produce greatness, and anybody around me, you're only allowed to produce greatness. Nothing where the standard is there, and we don't fall short of the standard, or I try not to fall short of the standard. And anybody that has anything connected with the triangle, affiliated with the Dacx brand, you automatically know that it's of a certain quality and standard. So I guess I am just, and the truth is that if it not chop, then it not go out. Simple.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're a very confident individual in your craft, in the work that you put out in the brand, and the brand speaks for itself. But do you ever, this is the business owner Dacx now. Do you ever experience like fear as a Black Caribbean man, as a creative, as the business owner? How do you push through that? Yeah.
Well, so I would say that the youthful side of me, there's always that fear that maybe this won't work out, and that I wasn't necessarily. The thing is that I think I would say that my fear kind of drove my passion,
Okay.
and there's somewhat some arrogance with the confidence that this is going to work. So from that standpoint, a lot of people who my closest friends would know that I have a very competitive and strong ego. It's not really, I don't really push out that to the world,
Right.
but internally, and the people that I deal with, and my closest people, they know me in a ramp, and it happened with everything. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I've had any like personal fears of it not working out. My fear now, or what I said, my biggest challenge right now, and it's been a constant challenge, is scaling and developing new talent. Like for the past year or so, I've stepped away from developing myself per se, because I've done the hours, I've done the 10,000 hours, I've been, and I'm not, there's no real, like, you have mastery, but this is lifelong learning. It's a lifelong learning department. If you're not on your toes, everything will run away from you. The technology will grow faster, and the trends. Keeping on top of this thing is not easy, and not to mention how the game has changed. The barrier to entry is a lot easier now. Getting good quality cameras are a lot cheaper now. It's so easy to make some change and get up and become a creator, become a content creator. But that's not what's important to me now. My sole focus right now is developing the youths, developing the people around me, developing the people who are interested and passionate about this. Not just interested, business about the interest. Because a lot of people have used our success or seen what we've been able to, acquire over the years, and Roops jump in at the thing because we can charge a certain amount of money because we're of a certain standard, or we reach a level now where Roops cut out some of cut out the fat and deal with the right quality people and such. But my biggest fear is, and as I say, it's a constant challenge, is growing the company. And because Jamaica, I guess the Caribbean, the talent pool is limited. A lot of people have interest, but the talent pool.
I think the barrier, because the barrier is so easy and everybody jump in it No, not a
Yeah.
lot of them focusing
The
on the
passion
craft
is the
and
craft and the passion
growing
is
the,
right. So the
yeah.
craft and the passion and did it.
Yeah.
And the moment I see that in you
Mhm.
is the moment I lose my interest in you. I can very confidently say that everybody that I have touched in this game, wife he touch, but you don't know anybody that I have had some form of interaction or anybody
Or
at
mentorship or
any form of
yeah.
mentorship, whether it's a day or years, everybody has either created something within the space, niched in some form of way, and or work with me, with for or I work with them. Every single person that I have spent a little bit of time of, they become successful in their own lane or in their own light. And because of that, you know, these people are not just employees to me, they become friends and family. You know, even competitors, but guess what? All of my competitors are my brethren.
Yeah.
So guess what? At the end of the day, we're only just supporting each other.
Yeah. There's enough for everybody.
There's enough for everybody. I see you in one lane, I'll go on a chop. Do it, bro.
Yeah.
Do it. I love it.
Yeah.
Guess what? One day if you need a hand, I'm there too.
Yeah.
You see me?
True.
But yeah. So right now that's the hardest part. The talent pool is not so great, and the passion to find the people with the passion and the drive, it's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree. All right. Is there a personal mantra, a scripture, or a belief that keeps you grounded when things get tough?
That's a good question, you know. I wouldn't say that I have a personal like set mantra, script or thing. I just always say, yo, just believe in yourself. You see me? And
tough work.
Just keep working. Just don't stop working. I was even saying it to YG right there behind the camera. No matter what, just stay working. Get yourself in the right spaces and places. It really, at the end of the day, is not what you know.
Yeah.
Is who you know.
All right. So you've captured love stories, you know, weddings, the brands, you know, one of the baddest editors, VFX, the whole nine, right? I literally see this man doing it on live on a catch him at a cafe or whatever, right? So but those things are gonna get the glory and the highlight, obviously, because you know you put it out there. But like, what's one thing that you built, or maybe somebody that you mentored, or something that you did create, but nobody saw that, but that mean the world to you. Like you did that, and it never really get a highlight, but you're proud of it.
Boy, it's interesting, you know, because let me tell you, I'm probably one of the. I can't even say one single thing. Because as we said before, you know, probably one of the most unknown people out there.
Yeah.
So a lot of the work that we put out, 90% of the work that's out there, it's not. I don't put it out.
Yeah.
It's put out by other people.
True.
Literally, Dacx is behind almost every major company and brand in Jamaica. If they've not had one of the creators, each company, each large brand has had a piece of Dacx in some way or form, right? And that's through all of the different forms of media, because we're a one-stop multimedia shop. There's so much work that is out there that we're unrecognized for, meaning that is really a case where who knows.
Right.
And the reality is that's been intentional. You get me? Because the demand is so high, especially over the years. The demand has been so high that, you know, every time I put out some form of work, that so much work would come that would not be able to manage it. And you know, you don't ever want to grow to the point where your quality gets hit because of quantity.
Demand,
You know, that's one thing that, you know, my parents have always, you know, been sticklers for. Under promise and over deliver. You get me? So I can't put one. I can't tell you exactly one thing, but a lot of the ads you see on billboards, digital boards, we've had work in Times Square, literally. You get me? Like we power so many of the largest Jamaican brands, and I'm going to be I have to be careful. You get me? Because we work with competing brands as well. You get me? Unless there is some form of contractual stipulation that stops us from. We work with everybody. We supply to everybody in different ways and forms. And if you're not, the funniest thing is that if you haven't necessarily worked with Dacx, the company, you worked with members of Dacx through other companies, because we work with, as I said, all of my competitors are my brethren from top straight go down. You see me? So I can't put my finger on one piece of work, to be honest. You know,
too much greatness.
It's a lot, you know, and I always get cussed, yo, Dacx, you don't post enough, Dacx, you're not putting enough out in the digital world or space. But guess what? We're working every day. If you look at our stories, we're working every day. We have something every day. You see me? So
Okay. All right, so let's peel it back. If your 17-year-old self could hear this conversation, what would you hope he learns from your journey?
Well, let's dial it back from 17. Big up 15-year-old
Dacx. All right, let's go.
Big up 15-year-old Dacx. That guy was relentless. I do not know where that drive came from for you to go to an event and then go home and go get the pictures out before it even done. Oh, like, ask him to do that now? Oh, hell no. That's not happening. Right? Remember the question again?
I was saying that the 17 or the 15
right, yeah. So big up that guy. I would just say that, and in the grand scheme of things, everything has been a lesson. You know, I do believe that I really gave away a lot. You know, like I remember working in the club back in the days when clubbing was a thing. You know, I work for hours. I shoot hundreds of people. And you see me, I go home with a $5,000. You get me? And that was fine for me. Because I was paying to learn. And I do find that my life is kind of set that way. It's a bit yin and yang. And oftentimes I do have to pay to learn. Whether it's like extreme or, you know, kind of chill. But I have had to pay to learn some of the greatest lessons that I've gotten over time. You know, so
Okay. When your name is mentioned 30 years from now, outside of your portfolio, what do you hope people remember about your impact?
Well, currently, as I said, my current mission is growing the people in the space. You know, there is nothing that feels greater to me than having somebody who feels, I don't want to say indebted, but just grateful for the impact that I've had in their life, in their time.
You sowed a seed in them, or planted a seed in them.
Planting a seed in them so that they can go and make their fields greener and lusher. Because once they win, I win.
Would you say that you're like that because maybe outside their parents, for example, nobody never really...
That's exactly what it is. So, you know, it took some time for me to convince both of my parents, you know. I won't lie, like, you know, it took a little while to win daddy over. That's a little while. But him seeing what the brand became and what it is right now, he's the proudest father. Proudest that. Mommy did more chill. You know, because she was already in the space and she just met me do my thing. It was really just, yo, do you think, you know, it was more do you think thing, but dad, you know, he's a strict educator, stickler for education. He held top positions in every company that he was in. So he's our boss. He's a top man. So in the grand scheme of things, I just want people to remember the impact I had on them and how I helped to develop and hone them into whatever they become of themselves. You know. And as I said before, for the most part, any and everybody that I have had any form of interaction with, they've become successful in some way or form. So really and truly, it's just to create a nice, beautiful talent pool that can be exported outside of the Caribbean, outside of our usual networks. You know, just to be known of being that what's the word? Just to be known as the springboard for many people to become something of themselves in this field. You know, because as I said before, the current content creator, the current what's known as anybody in media, this industry was nowhere as developed as it is when I started. So to know that, you know, even that there is an industry now, and you know there are lots of little people behind little screens all over the place, looking for the next break or the next bus or the next person to connect with, that they can have opportunities to be in the right places and spaces. That's all that matters to me, you know.
Okay. And I mean, this might sound small to you, but there was a gem that you gave me one time. We're at Cafe Dolce, and I was asking you. I saw that you were on your iPad watching something while you were editing. You probably don't remember, and I did ask you like why you have. So you were the reason why I got my iPad. Because you told me that while you're editing, you're learning at the same time. So this is more for the youth out there. Somebody seen this interview and they want to get started in photography, videography, cinematography. What equipment would you recommend to someone just starting out on a budget?
On a budget?
Yeah. Something that they can start out and they can do some damage with, but it's not necessarily, you know.
So you have to start up here first. Yeah, these are the biggest equipment you can invest in. This right here, right? So start here first, have the vision, and create a mission, right? Come up with a plan. So after you figure out up here now, so luckily technology has reached a point where we have so many options, so many things we can pick up from. But let's start basic. Obviously, you need a camera body. And obviously, you need a lens. Just to start, I would recommend getting a camera that has at least 12 megapixels. And even in today's age and stage, 12 megapixels is more than enough. I started Dacx photography on I think that camera had 12 megapixels. I believe it had 12 megapixels. Or it could be 10. I don't remember. But what I was getting out of it with it and a kit lens was amazing. So what my mentor told me at the time, the one mentor I kind of had, is that you spend as much as you can. Yo, guys, there's like a storm going on outside. Trust me, it's kind of crazy. Don't mind that. But spend as much money as you can on what will make you your money, right? So get a good start. Start off with something small, camera body wise, something that you can get the job done. Start off small. Learn the limitations of that camera. Your next best or your best investment will always be the glass, your lens. Your best investment, let me say it again, zoom in if you have to, spend your money upon your glass, right? Because you can put amazing glass on a shitty camera and people won't have a clue that you're probably shooting them with a camera that costs less than $1,000 because your glass is good. It will take time, but spend the cash on the glass. After you've spent up on the glass, your next best options are investing in your accessories that will make your image look better. So buy up your little tripod them, buy up your little stands, and then invest in a light. So depending on what you're doing, whether it's photo or video, invest in lighting. Those will be your best friends. At the end of the day, everything else, the more you get up in this game, you realize that it's all the supporting elements that make the image better.
Yeah.
Right? Your camera body should not be your first big purchase. It can be, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Everything else. So, as I said, a decent camera body, damn good glass, all accessories that are required to make whatever you're doing look good. We've invested millions into Dacx. Everything around us, it's been years of constant investing, reinvesting, losing, learning, seeing what's fluff versus what's actually, what matters. But invest in everything that makes your image amazing. You see me? So take your time, but start off good and build it out. And trust me, over time you just start acquiring things that make more sense. Your limitations is what will make you more aware of what is needed to become greater. And that's with everything in life.
True. Okay.
You know?
All right. That was great advice. What does leadership look like in the Caribbean creative industry when it's done right?
Interesting question.
Key on the when it's done right.
Leadership, when it's done right, it is almost silent actually. They usually say that confidence can come with silence. Like usually you don't even have to say anything. If something is being led right or done right, that's the point. It's being done.
Yeah.
A lot of, like, even within my space, me are the boss, but my peers and anybody who works with me, I try to lead, and I try to lead in a way that I would have wanted to be led, where I can, feel like I'm a part of what is being built. And anybody who invests in Dacx, meaning on a employee side of things, it's almost like you're getting yourself into a family. It's not no job. This is your life. This is your lifestyle. So for me, leadership is a very it's so sensitive, and once it's done right, it goes without words, and it just happens, and the things that you've done, it just comes out effortlessly, and that is leadership for me. And as I said, being consistent, doing what you need to be doing, it just comes out.
Okay. All right, quick one. If you could collaborate with any creative, dead or alive, who would it be? And what would you create with them?
Oh, wow. Another interesting question. Let me think on this one. Who would I want to create with, dead or alive? I wish I'd have loved to have done a photo shoot with Aliyah.
Okay.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
That would have been cool. But maybe this might be weird, but I almost wish. I'm kind of intrigued. I'm really intrigued as to how humanity got to the point that it is right now. And the greatest thing about being in my job is that my job is everybody's job, because one day, I'm shooting with medical people. Another day, I'm shooting with engineers. Another day I'm shooting with influencers and celebrities. You know, another day I'm shooting with probably homeless and mad people on the road. And then obviously the Prime Minister the next day.
Right.
We are the creators. We literally have to become chameleons because we have to inject ourselves and adapt ourselves into whatever spaces we're challenged to. But for me, maybe this is a little nerdy thing, but I would have loved to have been in the places and spaces of you know, Thomas Edison,
capturing history.
Yeah, the Tesla, Newton. Yeah, maybe around Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to have done documentaries and everything there. Maybe Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Practically any top person in the world.
Right.
I would have loved, or I love, because that's what happens with my work. I'm injected into these places and spaces all the time. And I get to learn so much about life because my office is the world. Is me. I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't go to the same place every day, and I'm not subject to being stuck in an environment. I am constantly. This is why I love my job. I'm constantly stimulated by my work, and I'm constantly around people who are influential or who have been in the right places and spaces to learn from. Because when my father teach me heavily, you know, I'm a lifelong learner. You know, being around those kind of people collaboratively. It's not necessarily creatively, but collaboratively in that regard, just learning from those people or being, you know, if I could have go back in time and see what I go on and record what they do or them getting that idea. Yeah, that would be so valuable to me. Otherwise, everybody out there who do them thing, them bad. I work with everybody. I enjoy anybody that produces quality stuff.
Okay.
You know, any talent.
All right. What's one lesson that you'd want every young person listening to this episode to walk away with?
Guys, never stop. Just keep working. Just keep working. Keep working. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dream. Constantly reinvest in yourself. Be the best that you can. Stay humble. You know, let your work do the talking.
Okay.
Let your work do the talking. Be recognized for what you create and what you produce.
Nice.
Everything else will fall in line after that.
Nice. All right. So for every episode, we ask our guests to complete a sentence. All right.
Okay.
So complete the sentence. Behind my title is.
Behind my title is. Okay. And it has to be a word or it can be a sentence?
It can be anything you want to say. Some people give a one-liner, some people give a statement, some people, you know.
Behind my title is. Behind my title is a little guy just wanting to make his impact in the world. You know, I have right now a lot of my driving force is the thought of my mom. I lost her last summer. I hear her in my ears all the time. Just keep going, you know? Keep pushing. She was proud of me. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, bro. Just wanted to say that I'm also proud of you. Bro, we see the work throughout the years. The work speaks. Nobody can deny you of where you are right now, and you deserve all the success, everything that you have, all the and it also is. I also think that you're gonna be blessed forever because you are paying it forward. So respect for coming out, real respectful, supporting. I look forward to seeing more. Alright.
Big up.
Blessings. And that's it for this episode of Behind the Title. If something in this conversation stirred something in you, that's not by chance. These stories aren't just for entertainment, they're blueprints, reminders, and seeds of legacy. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Catch you in the next one.